Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here for yourself. And I'm honored to be here with you today. Activation. What do you want? Really today, it's recorded at the time of the new moon. You can do this at any time, really, but the new moon is always great because it's a fresh, new energy. Our ancestors knew this. The moon, the seasons, the sun, the stars, like we're all interconnected in this planet. And so when we become more in tune with nature, we become very much in tune with ourselves, especially in this age of, very, very accelerated technology, accelerated world events, right? Like so much happening. I find the balance is going to be people going inwards more. Yeah, connecting to people who they can just really connect and go deeper with, not just on the surface. It's amazing how you can have lots of people around. You can have family, friends, and everything, but the people who you feel really that lock in, you feel just connected. It's absolutely amazing. But first and foremost, we have to connect to ourselves like that. We have to love ourselves in the way that we want to be loved. We have to accept ourselves. We have to look at ourselves in the truth. And so a couple of questions I just want you to set your intentions as you're starting here is, who are you? Who are you? Not what are you, but who are you truly at your core? And this is really interesting because right now in the world, a lot of people are so focused on, and they're warring, and they're protesting with, and they're, with what they are, right? So much focus on what I mean by that is there's so much focus on gender, sexuality, my height, my age, men against women, and straight against this, and this against that, and it's like what you are. What I've always taught for years that has not changed is what you are. The fact that I'm a woman, I'm Kurdish, and I'm British, and I'm an American, and I'm 5'2", and I do, what I do for a living, and I'm a sister, and I'm a, whatever, like all these different things to different people. It's not who I am. What I am is not who I am. Yeah. So what I am is not who I am. So who am I at the core? Right. I call it peeling the onion layer. And this is us really connecting to our soul. So sometimes the reason I'm talking about this is because sometimes the goals that we have is actually goals that's attached to our ego. Does this make sense? Yeah. They're goals that we think we need to tick these boxes, like we need to achieve these goals. What I'm inviting you for today for full activation is, what does your soul want? Yeah. What does your soul do? This is your God-given gift, whatever the highest authorities you believe in, God, Jesus, the spirit, source, Allah, Krishna, nature, science, I don't care, whatever it is. Yeah. Like believe in something. Yeah. Whatever it is, there is something in you that is very authentic to you. And that in all space and time, there will never be anything quite the same as you. You are unique. And so if we just stop trying to show up as everybody else or fit in, and we're not meant to fit in, especially if you're drawn to this, most likely you're the one who's a bit different in your family or in your circle. Yeah, people that are drawn to me usually are. So I'm inviting you to really connect to who you are, not what you are. The reason why is because there's lots of stories. I can connect loads of limitations to what I am. Oh, as a woman, as a divorcee, as an immigrant, as a refugee, as a this, as a that, like so much that can attach to me just by my physical identity. But like we always talk about in this group, is the physical comes from the non-physical. Everything visible comes from the invisible, right? So when you're setting your intentions, like one thing is, who are you? Second thing is, what do you want? What do you truly want? Like, what is in your heart? Because what you want from your heart, and this is where we have to stop getting in our ego, we drop down from the mental into the body, drop into the body, drop into the heart. Yeah. What do you really want? Your full activation means full embodiment. And we're going to go through this process. Okay. I've got this here. This was supposed to be a full green screen behind me, but last night, this morning, this afternoon, I couldn't quite get it right. So I'm like, this is just going to be a display. It's just going to be like a whiteboard. Okay, we're going to go. This is going to change. I'm going to give you guys a little journey. Okay, some visuals for us to go through together. But who are you? What do you want? And as you guys are coming in live, please just mute your mic. Yeah. So who are you and what do you want? Be here for yourself. What we're going to go through is not just what you want, but it's really, really important. I want you guys to make sure, please, you have your notebook and pen. Okay.
Closest, please.
Make sure you have your notebook and pen with you, because we're going to go through this in a second. And I want you to actually do this. Even if you're just planting the seeds and you just write the questions that I'm going to tell you and you go back and do it later, that's going to be the most effective way. It's not going to work if you don't write it down. I heard about this statistic, how these university students, I can't remember if they were law students or something, I can't remember, but they asked them who wrote their goals down, and I think like 3% of them wrote their goals down. Most of them didn't, and they actually followed up with them 20, I think it was like 20 years later or something. I can't remember the exact dates or whatever, but I remember the 3%. They followed up with these people 20 years later, and what they found was the 3% of people who wrote their goals down, they earned more combined than the whole other percentage. Yeah, like the 3% earned more money, they were doing better in life than all the other 97%. If you don't write it down, it's not real. This is the first step in making it real. If you don't care enough to write it down, like how's that gonna, like, you don't even care enough to write it, to put even that little bit of energy into it, right? So what do you want? Set your intentions. New moon. There's a process, and I explained this, and I have a wonderful client who's a doctor, and this came to me when I was talking to him, because we were talking about the process. And I said to him, if a patient came to you who's pregnant, and let's say she's 3 months pregnant, and she says to you, doctor, I want my baby now, get my baby out now, and you'll be like, lady, the process is 9 months, relax, you'll get your baby. Yeah. So, no, I don't want to wait 9 months, I'm too excited, I want it now. You'd be like, you're gonna kill the process. The process is 9 months. Yeah, there's a process. So like Eric Thomas, I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but Eric Thomas says, just understand when you're setting intentions and goals that to plant a bush and to plant a tree, it takes a little bit more time, boo. Yeah, a little bit more time. And the patience is usually within ourselves. Yeah. So setting your intentions. What do you want? What do you want to create? What are your goals? You know, whenever we're looking at leveling up, taking ourselves to the next level, some of you have worked with me. I can see some of you online, like you've worked with me one-to-one. Some of you just, you know, you know me through maybe social media, you don't know me that well. Some of you are quite new to my work. Some of you are seasoned, you've been with me for quite a while. Yeah. What you'll know is that whenever we're talking about leveling up, it's we have to, like, the 2.0 version, 3.0, 4.0. I don't know what version I'm on at the moment. I don't know, maybe 5.0, 6.0, I don't know. Yeah. But every time you want to level up, it requires another level of you. It's who you really are. It's not that you're not enough, it's you are enough, but you're done. Yeah, you've already outgrown this. If you want more, you've already outgrown your current reality. You want more, you want expansion. So, okay, what do you want? And then the who you are, we're going to come back full circle. Okay, so I'm going to go through this process with you guys, because the who you are, who you think you are, your self-image, your beliefs is so important. If you want this over here, but you don't really believe you can do it, you don't believe you can have it, you believe it's possible for others, but you don't really feel it's possible for you. You feel like maybe you're not enough, maybe you're too young, maybe you're too old, maybe you're too this, maybe you're too that. Whatever it is, the stories, our self-image is so incredibly important. It's so incredibly important. And the transformation comes within. It can come within a second, a shift, you know. I spoke to my friend, and I'm going to do a video about this specifically on like social media. I done a video yesterday where I went live, and I was in a good vibe, right? I was in alignment, and I done a video. And what people don't know that I'm going to be sharing is specifically yesterday, what people don't see is 5 hours before, I was in my car in the park crying, releasing. I was on the phone to my friend. Yeah, something had activated, and I was just like just crying, and my friend's like, oh dear, okay. Like, luckily I don't talk to my goals and those things with people that are going to be like, oh my god, and like cry with, no, I don't do that. My friend, she doesn't cry with me. She sees this is the ego. Yeah, like, you know, my soul most likely called her because it knows that she knows this work. And so within the conversation of me and her speaking about it, I was digging myself a hole. Talk about digging myself a vibrational hole, right? I'm going to share the emotional scale with you so I can actually show you, right? Digging myself digging myself into like lower and lower and lower in the down the emotional scale, right? And I'm going to share my screen with you. You should be able to see this in a sec. You guys can see this. Yeah. So I was tumbling down. Yeah, you can call it like 10, 11, 12, 13. I was stuck at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 17, right? Like I was there, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I was spiraling down real quick. Like, and my friend was talking to me. And then when I cried, the crying is a release. Yeah, like it's a release of energy. You've had that energy and you cry, and then it's like the vessel. It's like this. If I was to pour this, oh, it can now hold more liquid. Yeah. I let go of that. It's we're containers. So once I'd done that, I went for a walk in the park. And I always tell you guys, listen to your body, listen to your heart. What was logical for me yesterday was what I would plan to do was to go onto Google, search for okay, I need to find new immigration laws. I need to find new accountants. I realized my accountant has not been doing what it's supposed to be doing in New Jersey. I can't travel up there. It's like I can't travel 2 days just to go to an office. I need something local. Same thing with my lawyer. Lawyers in New York. It's like I can't go to New York like to pop into his office. I need something local. But instead of doing that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the park. Sounds counterintuitive, but it's not. That's the work. The soul knows. Your body knows. It speaks to you. So I had to get out of the mind, drop down into my heart, into my body, and go to the park, call my friend. Okay, had the release. And then I shifted. There were many shifts that I had. Yeah. A lot of ideas actually for today, for what we're going to be doing today. Really, really amazing. I was in the vibe to do my hair, makeup, do the video. And then afterwards, again, what people don't see is afterwards, oh my gosh, martial arts, tie up my hair quickly, get changed, run to my martial arts class and do 2 martial arts classes and come out looking like I can't walk properly because I've had 2 hours of martial arts, right? They don't see that. They don't see the candle work, the deep work I've been doing every single night, like prayers, meditations for myself, for others, for other people that I haven't even met yet in this world, that I know are my tribe. I know that people are feeling the same way as I'm feeling. It's always the heaviest just before a new moon. It's always it's called the dark moon. Yeah, before the new moon. It's the heaviest energy. And so I knew things were shifting. And when I was, again, this stuff I was working on this, it wasn't working, but we're going to just work with this. Okay, I feel like this has happened for a reason. But it's knowing where you are, because if I create a goal from 22, that's not where I want to create from. I want to create in my power. And you know, the same friend called me today when I was doing my glam, my makeup and hair. The same girl, she called me today. She's like, hey, how you doing today? And when I was telling her what I've been going through, she's like, I'm not being funny. She said, you sound like a different woman. I said, I feel like one too. Yeah, that's the power of the work that we do here. Yeah, that's the power in the shift. She was like, you really sound like a different woman. I'm like, I really feel like one, girl. Like, I feel it. That version yesterday, whatever it was, I processed whatever needed to be processed. Yeah. Sometimes nothing's gone wrong. Sometimes you're actually strong enough, and your brain's like, you know what, she's strong enough to finally purge this. Let's push that out. And you think, what's wrong? Why is this thing triggered me? Or why has this thing come to my mind? Why have I had a dream about this thing? Why is this thing bothering me? It's so you just purge it. It's so you can purge. And this is where we're going to go into the first part of the process. Yeah. So if I stop sharing, okay, right. So if I stop sharing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind you guys again why you're here. you're being invited for activation of what you want, your next level, your goals. Yeah. What do you want? And as you even think about what you want, I'm going to change the background to fire. Okay, let me see. Can you guys see this? Is it working? Is it working? Okay, cool. Okay, fire. First of all, what can't come with you? What do you need to burn? Sometimes you need to burn bridges. I used to think, oh, it's not good to burn bridges. Sometimes you need to burn the bridge that's going to take you back to the most toxic places and people. You need to burn the bridge of anything that takes you away from who you are, anything that takes you away from God, the universe, the creator, whatever it is that you believe in. Yeah, this is not like a sermon, but but still, you know, like I heard this guy say the other day, like he said he was doing a talk and he was saying to people, he said, you lot are believers and you're looking at non-believers win, non-believers get stuff, what non-believers winning, like attainment, goal attainment and everything. They don't even believe, they don't even have the connection, the communion that you do. And yet you're ashamed to talk about either what you believe in, you're ashamed to live it, you don't even believe it, even though you're the one who's supposed to be a believer, right? So it's like, what needs to go? Are you mean to yourself? I don't know about you. No one could be meaner to me than I am to myself. I'm very aware of that. It's a work in progress. Yeah. What do you need to let go of? What doubts, what worries, what people, what music, what foods, what habits? What do you need to burn? What do you need to let go of? Resentments. This doesn't mean, by the way, like forgiveness, like this doesn't mean that what people have done to you is justified. It doesn't mean that at all. It means actually who you want to become, what you want to create. You want to put power to that, not to what is behind you. Yeah. Leave what is behind you. It's behind you for a reason. So what do you need to burn? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to purge? What do you need to release? Sometimes you need to release people, habits, you know, whatever it is. Write this stuff out. Yeah. Write this out, because otherwise it's not really going to be that effective if you don't write it out. What needs to go, you guys? Sometimes you didn't want to burn the bridge, but someone burnt the bridge and you have a choice to extinguish it. But sometimes it's best just to sit and let the bridge burn, so that there's no way you can go back there because it was not good for you. So what needs to burn? What do you need to let go of? What needs to purge? What needs releasing? Releasing so that your energy isn't, you know, like they're called energy leaks. So you're not leaking your energy everywhere, thinking about this person in the past, doing this habit that's leaking your energy, watching these things, I don't know, addicted to social media, watching, like, what needs to go? You know, one thing I realized is I love watching comedy, and a lot of comedians that are like almost like storytelling, sometimes the stories they tell, even if they're funny, it's a little bit, because I watch so much comedy late night. I don't really want anything else going into mum. I don't watch dramas and violence and stuff. No, I just be a comedy. I can do anything while it's on. I don't even need to watch it. I could just listen to it. But what I've been very conscious of is poverty comedy. They might be talking about inflation. They might be talking about money. They might be talking about post-COVID or whatever it is, the economy and stuff. But do I need that in my consciousness? I really don't. Yeah, I really don't. There can be comedy without the poverty, right? I am working on prosperity, because if I'm not prosperous, how the hell can I help people? How can I help people when I need to be helped? Does that make sense? So it's like, just that. Now the second that I'm not even waiting to see the rest of the comedy sketch. The second they dip into poverty and I can feel it, I have to switch off. I just switch off. It's okay. It's not for me. I don't want that vibe. So what do you need to burn? Yeah. Okay. I think we've got a couple comments. Okay. I have to go. It's very good. I'll watch the recording. Thank you, Lena. Oh, you're so welcome. Okay. So we're ready to move on to the next one. Yeah. Just please make sure you write that down. Okay. Next one. So taking a deep breath and really set this intention. What if, in order for you to have your level up, you have to burn this stuff? Would you do it? Very early in my journey, I was asked this, but I was listening to this like set of DVDs. You know, back in the day when people still had DVD trainings and stuff. There was a DVD, and the guy said, if you could have everything you want, but you had to give up your favorite thing on TV, if you had to give it up for 4 years, I'd done it. I used to watch loads of like British soap operas and stuff. I used to watch loads of them. I gave it up. I said, you know what I want that more than these shows, you know. So I just stopped watching them. I'd only see if like I was at my mom's or my friends and they had it on, but I just stopped watching them. If that's what it takes, I'm going to burn that bridge. Yeah. So sometimes it's a case of even some things that you like, but not that you love, because what you love is meant to be part of your life. Yeah. What you love is meant to be part of you. You don't need to punish yourself for what you love. It's like, I love martial arts. I love being in nature. That needs to be part of my life. I can't, when I need to work, I can't cut that off. Does that make sense? That's not going to help me energetically. Yeah. So what do you need to burn? What do you need to let go of? And we are next. Let me see, where's my backgrounds? Okay. We're going to move on to emotions. Now, what emotions is represented by is water. Okay. So water. So if this is the case, when you think of what you want and letting go of the things that weigh you down, that's heavy, that no longer serves you, what is your predominant, let's call it trending? I like that term. I heard Abraham talking about it in the workshop that I went to in October, but your trending vibration, right? What is your trending state of consciousness? What is your trending emotion? And if you need to, I'm going to share my screen with you again so you can actually see it. So you can see the emotional scale. Okay. So I don't know how this is looking for you guys. I can't see what it looks like for you. But where were you trending on the emotional scale? Yeah. And it might be that, yeah, maybe you kind of bounce around from one high emotion to like the lower ones, but it's really important, like, where are you trending? Because not only this is your thought, this is your emotion, this is the water within, right? This is why water is associated with emotion, because literally your emotions can impact your biochemistry. They can impact your thyroids, they can impact the testosterone, they can impact the female hormones, they can impact the stress hormone, cortisol, they can make you feel relaxed, right? Like they can change your biochemistry, literally. Emotions, and you know, I read a part of that book to the group, for you guys that are members. I've read part of that book to you guys last week about the power of thoughts and emotions and health, yeah, and the body and disease. So in terms of emotions, what state are you creating from? And in terms of what you actually want, what state, if you attained that, if that was a reality, and we're going to seal this all in with a good meditation afterwards, yeah, to seal it in, but for what you want, if it's done, it's attained, it's yours, you're in the end goal of it, what would be the emotional state that you would be in? Because this is where we really reverse engineer. Yeah, we don't wait till we get the thing to feel that emotion. We feel it first and then we get the thing. It's reverse engineering. It's like the invisible creating the visible. Like, this didn't just show up, this cup. Someone had to think it, and then they had to think about it enough to like do something about it. At the very least, probably write it down. Yeah, like at the very least. So everything, like these headphones, my earrings, my rings, this green screen, like everything physical came from the invisible. So what is the predominant emotional state that you want to be trending at? Let's say the majority of the day, not 100%. We're human. These emotions help us. Yeah, it helps us to know. Helps us to know when we feel angry. It helps us to know when we're worried. so that we can stop and pay attention. And what are we worried about? What are we angry about? And we can dissect it, we can process it, we can release it. Yeah. So emotions, what are in your waters, right? If we were to pour your energy into the cup, each of us, what would our energy look like? What would the water look like? What would it contain? Would it be healing to others? Would it be toxic? Would it be messy? Would it be just cloudy, foggy, not really clear? Would it be like crystal clear? Yeah. You know, a little bit of bitter is okay. A little bit of sour is okay. A little bit of salt is okay. Yeah. Sweet is okay, but not too sweet, right? Not too sweet. It's like one of you that's on this call now knows that there's a book called Not Nice that I recommend for any of you who's a recovering people pleaser like me, okay? And the book tells you basically how it's not about being nice, because if you're just being nice all the time, you actually sometimes you end up being nice and you're not being authentic. And then what happens is when you're not nice and you're not being authentic to you, you're saying yes to other people, people pleasing, but you're saying no to yourself. You end up resenting the people. You end up having anger, whatever emotions it is, yeah, blame, whatever, you're going to be projecting to them. And the shadow side of us, and this is why I love the moon, because it's got the, you know, the dark moon, the side that we see. It's really interesting because it's like if you suppress a part of you, it's going to come out in the shadow. Yeah. So you might as well express it and start practicing how to express your authenticity in the most healthy way possible. As we're practicing, sometimes, you know, as you're practicing just being authentic and saying no to people, because really you want to say no. So you say no. The way you say it, your expression, whatever it is, you know, until you get comfortable with yourself. You know, it's a process. You just trust yourself with it. So emotions we create from our state, and the beautiful thing about this is that we can shift this. Yeah. On a day-to-day basis, if you create your goal as a reality, what would your habits be like, and what would your emotional state be like? What are the things that get you up in the top 3 emotions, by the way? So if we're just to zoom in here, right? Oh, why is this happening? Okay, there we go. If we are to like these 3, the top 3, what things get you there? Yeah, the things that get me there might not be the things that get you there, but this has always been like going in. It's not a head thing. It's dropping down into your body. It's listening to your heart. It's connecting to your soul. Like, what are the things that, you know, bring your soul alive? So with that emotion, with the groundedness connecting to our body, we then move on to air, right? So with that clarity, what happens with air is about thoughts, ideas. So then revisiting, yeah. Again, it's going to help if you write this out, yeah. Revisiting. What do you want? And what do you want, and why do you want it? The why is really powerful. If the why is just to get back at people, maybe not so powerful, right? If the why is because it would make you feel so good, it would impact other people in a positive way. Like, why do you want what you want? Really, really important. What you want, but then why you actually want it. Write that down. So what you want, why you want it. And really, again, having to think about this new energy. Forget the past. Forget everything before. Forget that. This is the beautiful thing about children, that they're so present before they get programmed, right? Before we program them, stop being present and authentic and just behave like everybody else so you don't embarrass us, right? Like, until we program children to get out of themselves, like who they are, But it's really powerful. Like sometimes when I do qigong, and especially when I do it with children, there's one exercise where we're just swinging our arms around, and the kids, it's so natural to them, right? And some parents that let them, some parents might be like, stop it, what are you doing, why are you swinging your arms around? But when I do that one with them, they'll be like, oh, I do this all the time. I'm like, yeah, they're tuned in, because if they're anxious or if they're whatever it is, like, just it releases energy. Animals do it, children do it, runners at the Olympics and stuff, you see them shaking. Yeah. It's very natural to us. So we've been trained away from our nature. And I think it's because by all means, this is not an idea authentic to me, it's just the idea that I subscribe to, I think is evident in our society, is that people that are really present and in tune with themselves and have a free mind, they're very hard to control. Yeah, you can control people if they're in fear. Take a look at the emotional scale. Take a look at all the news. Take a look at how they reported COVID. They didn't have to do that. They could have informed us like conscious human beings that we are, informed us, told us the dangerous things, told us the, whatever. It wasn't like that, was it? It wasn't like that at all. Like if I shared the screen with you guys, and what's interesting is every country is different though, right? There were some African countries that were, their leaders were pretty gangster. Like they were like, we're not doing this. Mexico, we're not doing it. They just didn't participate. They just carried on like absolute normal. There were countries where it just didn't. They weren't having a bar of it. But a lot of countries, where did they report the news? Like, this is a health pandemic. Yes, we understand there's danger. We're humans. We're adults. Yeah, like, but look at the state that they brought people to, where people were literally fighting against their families and friends. People stopped talking to them. They got people, because anyone that was consuming the news, and that's going in your mind and going into you, and it controls the way you think, because it's showing you what to think. It's not just presenting ideas and then you drop down, right? So whether it's anger, because anger is more marketable, so it's more shareable. Apparently they found out that if something evokes anger, people share it more, right? So okay, something's made you feel angry or fearful, so it's never really what happens to us. I mean, I've had COVID. Like, my self-care was just went up. It just had to go completely up, right? Like, there wasn't, my thing, again, I don't know, we're not going to do a training about COVID, okay? But you get what I'm saying. It could be about anything, right? Politically, like, the news brings people here, because you can control people. You can get people to do exactly what you want. If you can keep them here, yeah, you can control masses and millions of people. Because the truth is, one person who is predominantly here is more powerful than millions of people who are here, right? So this is the leverage, like, this is the energy work. This is why they'll make fun of this stuff. This is why things are becoming so, people will make fun of God, and they'll make fun of religions. Well, most religions, like, they're scared to make fun of some, but you know what I mean, like spirituality and things like that. I shied away from it a lot. And one thing I realized is because I'm, as a coach, as a strategist, I'm very like, it is masculine energy, it is structures, logistics, like actions, right? But one thing, and I'm going to be creating, and I have created, but I haven't posted anything about it yet, I'm just still in the formation of it, is a spiritual brand. It's called Lena High Priestess, that I've created the accounts. I just haven't posted anything about it. And this is me coming out the closet spiritually, because I'm like, I feel like the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it, is downloading messages to me to communicate that people need. And then my mental gets in, my strategist brain gets in, the Lena K brain gets in, the strategist. Okay, let's do this, let's plan this. It's not about planning, it's not about thinking, it's about flowing. By the time I'm thinking of it and strategizing, if it's 2 days, it's gone. God's like, you know what? Yeah, we told someone else to deliver the message. You take too damn long. Okay, like just why? Just flow. Just trust. Just do it. So it's really amazing, and it's going to be a brand for like divinity, divine masculine, divine feminine. You know, just so beautiful. Like especially in a society where there's a lot of pinning men against women. Low consciousness. We don't want to do that. We want to connect with divine women and divine men. You know, it's so incredibly important. Conscious men, we need them on the planet. Conscious women, we need on the planet, right? So the air, the breath, breathing into it, the new moon. You know, one thing you can do to be more present is just through the day, just stop and just breathe into your body. Just breathe into your body and just remind yourself, who am I? Like, what do I want? Remind yourself, because we're going to go into autopilot. Yeah, we're going to go into autopilot. However, I guarantee you, not even by the end of the month, not even by the next new moon, I guarantee by the full moon in 2 weeks' time, you will see activity in this area. Like, you will see activity, you'll see progress if you stick to it, if you become very, very disciplined mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Does this make sense? You guys with me so far? Yeah. So if you become disciplined and you actually trust and you believe in yourself, in the process, in whatever, you know, higher authority power you believe in, you're going to see shifts happen. Like, you can't not. It's just, this is just the way the universe works. This universal laws, right? Like, I don't make the rules. I'm just glad that I know them so I can, you know, navigate through them. Like I was saying to my friend, like, oh my God, my uncle in Holland, he says to me, like, he's like, I couldn't do what you're doing. He's like, most men can't do what you're doing. He was like, most of them would have gone back home. Like, he's like, just remember, like, what you're doing is amazing. You're not just living by yourself, traveling in America, you're by yourself. You haven't even got a job. You create your own economy. You literally have your own business. Like, he's like, and you've gone through so much and you're by yourself. You don't have any family with you. Like 2.5 years without your family. Like, he's like, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I do it. Like, because I'm so in it. And sometimes we're so in our lives. We're just living our life. We don't realize how wonderful we are. Like, you guys are so unique, each of you. It's like, do you stop and actually breathe and be like, you know what? You're doing pretty good considering everything you've been through. You're actually doing pretty good. Can you just be kind to yourself? Can you give yourself some grace? Can you give yourself some grace? Can you give yourself some kindness? All right. So with the breath, we then want to move to, and we're gonna bring all this visualization into our meditation as well. Yeah. But with our breath, we want to bring ourselves to grounded earth, the earth element. The earth element is about strategy. The earth element is about logistics. It's about steps forward. So notice how we've gone right from the fire burn. Let's just burn what we don't want. And that means that when you burn bridges, that means the only way to go is forward, right? You can't go back, right? To ways of being, whatever it is that you're purging, letting go of, releasing. And then our emotional state, when we really become aware of, like, you know what? My life didn't change from yesterday to today, you know. But my friend that spoke to me was like, oh my God, you sound like a different woman. I am. I feel different. I think different. I have embodied a different energy. I feel really tuned in. I feel very, very connected. And we all have that connection, but we cut ourselves off, you know? So it's like, okay, knowing that our emotions are important, because not only they impact us internally, it's a signal, it's the vibration, it's energy, right? Our mind, amazing. If we have our mental faculties, I mean, my God, I saw my dad attain business and land and properties, but he lost his health. Like, he died early 60s. He got Alzheimer's in his 50s. What's crazy is his business partner, who was like an uncle to us, he died 6 months later. It was like, what? It's because these men, they really prioritize money over health, over relationships, over connection. They prioritize money, and they created their businesses from a state of actual fear, scarcity, you can say. Yeah. What is the point gaining the world and losing your mind, right? So the mind is very, very important. That's why this element of air, it is connected with the air, with the mind and ideas and things. But some ideas and some thoughts that we think, especially memories and things that don't serve us, we just need to treat them like clouds. Just let them come, let them go. We don't need to attach to the cloud. We don't need to sit on the cloud and no, I'm going to be on this cloud forever because they hurt me. It's like, just let it go. Not every thought we have to think, because if we attach to a thought, and you see this with people, yeah, who have very limiting beliefs, and they've held on to this cloud, this thought, until it's become a belief. Now, after it becomes a belief, it becomes a rule of their life. And like me and my friend were laughing at the other day and earlier, actually, is that if you get to choose the rules of your life, why are you choosing rules that don't serve you? Right? Why are you choosing rules that don't serve you? Like, why did I think a little while ago, why did I think, you know what, I need to knuckle down on my businesses and I need to stop doing the things I love so much. This was not the how I said it to myself, but this is looking back, the silly rule I was going by, right? Until I come to my senses, I'm like, why on earth would I ever stop what I love to do more of what I love, or to work, or to make money, or to be better, or to level up? Surely the leveling up has to embody everything I love, right? So instead of me shortening it, instead of me sacrificing it, which a lot of people do, I'm going to prioritize it. It's going to be part of the journey. So this is where, when it comes to the groundedness and strategies forward, I want you to have a think about, if you created what you want into a reality, and the elements of your life, well, how you, so your health is on point, the relationships, you know, your goals, whatever, finance, career, whatever you have going on, whatever you've written down, what would your ideal day be like? What would your ideal day be like? And what of those elements, what can you bring in and do now? How can you embody as much of that as possible? What habits would you have? Yeah, it's not just about like a few of the actions and things, but what habits? So for example, for me, feeling connected is very important. Feeling connected to the universe is so incredibly important to me, that when I feel disconnected, I'm like, what is the point? What's the purpose? Like, and usually I've disconnected myself, right? Nobody's come and done anything to me. We all do it to ourselves. I've disconnected myself with some unaligned thought, memory, emotion, something that I've just caught onto, and it's just, I've allowed it to disconnect me temporarily. Yeah. And I realized, you know what, my connection, how I feel most connected to myself and to the creator of the universe, source, energy, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is I like to spend time in nature. That's me. I like to do martial arts. I like to meditate and light candles and have time when it's just in the late at night, when it's just me and I feel like I'm in communion with God or the creator, like it's just us, like it's intimate relationship, like it's there, like I'm by myself but I'm not alone. Does this make sense? I'm by myself, but my room, my apartment, like my energy field is powerful. And this is where I create. This is where I can take out, I realize what no longer serves me when I'm in silence. Yeah. Sometimes it's through movement. Today I had planned to do yoga because I'm so sore from 2 hours of martial arts last night. What I end up doing was to put on my Afrobeats playlist, and man, I'll be dancing all morning and afternoon. I just needed to dance and just dance and move. Yeah. Moving my feet, moving my arm, moving my body in a different way. And I just done like maybe 5 minutes of yoga. But the rest of it was flowy, dancey, and it's being not so rigid with your morning routines. Yeah. like what I intended to do for my morning routine wasn't what I did do, but what I did do still got me in tune. So does it matter? No, but it's you get to choose the rules for you. So what are the rules for you, right? What is going to make you feel, how pretty, right? How pretty is that? Lovely. Grounded. What makes you feel grounded? Because the trees are really interesting, right? The trees, their roots are so deep into the earth, and yet the leaves are in the air, right? They're connected to the heavens through the sun, the rain. That it's so incredibly beautiful. Yeah. The trees, they let go. Every year they have to let go. They have to let go of what they've created. Yeah. Every year they purge the leaves. Yeah. And they trust the winter season. And they trust the process. The trees don't get depressed, cry, and give up on us. Thank the Lord. Yeah, they're here for us. They're here for themselves. They stand strong through the winter, and then spring finally, and then summer, beautiful, and then they have to let go of the leaves again. They have to do it all over again. And so if we're able to do that, which we are, and we decide to do that, this is where we talk about, your direction is more important than your speed. Where you are going and why you're going there is more important, right? So having to think about that, because having your direction, being grounded in that, trusting yourself, trusting the process is so incredibly important. And let me see, there's one more that I need to add for you guys, but can you guys put in the comment section, let me know if this resonates, and put into the comment section, let me know if it resonates. And now that you've written this stuff out, I want you to have a think about writing out what you want. And actually we done this last week, didn't we? We done this, let me see if I can grab it for us. It was the how bad do you want it? Yeah, I did. I'm going to share the screen because it's a lot easier, right? So I know we're going to do a meditation and we'll seal it off, and then we'll go to Q&A. Okay, so where's my thingy? Okay, here we go. Okay, how bad do you want it? Right, so the goal, the desire, writing it down, what beliefs, and instead of actually you can analyze it, but actually whatever the belief, whatever the goal is, what are the beliefs that you're going to need for that? What is the mindset that you're going to need? Yeah, what is going to be a perfectly aligned belief system for you to attain that? What's going to be a perfectly aligned attitude, and what are the actions? Yeah, what are the beliefs, what are the actions, and what's the attitude? Because there's no point doing this and you're like, oh yeah, I really want this, oh but the economy this, the government says this, my life said that, my mother said that, my friend said this to me. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, is that all more powerful than what you believe in? You don't believe in anything. You know what, I think this thought came to me like, I was going to say late last night. It was nighttime for me. Usually I'm sleeping, but it's very early this morning. It was the thought that, sometimes it's not the non-believers, like atheists. Like, I have family members who are atheists. They are so loving, so kind. They're not the dangerous people like on the planet. I think the most dangerous people are those who not only don't believe in anything, but they will win at any cost. They don't care if they have to step over a child, family member, friend, whatever. And that is one way of winning. I suggest another way. It doesn't have to be like that. Yeah. Can you ease into it? You can do the hustle way. Sure. Yeah, of course. And I'm not saying action is not required. It absolutely is. But we want aligned action. So we want action that comes from the emotional scale. Where has it gone? You want action that comes from the emotional scale. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the emotional scale. This is where we want action from. So your work is to get into alignment. So really, honestly, like how and what and where, what gets you into alignment. This is part of the work. Can you, this is a new moon, right? So however you've been trending before, doesn't really matter before this moment. It's important that you're aware of it. But how can you prioritize? If you want it that badly, can you prioritize being disciplined with your thoughts, with your mind, with your emotions, with where you're vibrating at? Because really the work is the energetics, the 80-20 rule. Yeah. This means that when you are, like we said, when you're in this state, in a higher state, you're more powerful than millions of people who are not. And this is where, Dr. David Hawkins, the map of consciousness, that I will share as well, is incredibly, incredibly powerful. I just love the visuals. And this is from the book Power versus Force. Yeah. So the map of consciousness, that he says that 85% of the human population at the time of his writing, I don't know when that was, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'm not sure. But at the time he wrote that, he said 85% of the human population are like below 200, their level of consciousness. And this is why one person who is operating from love is more powerful, has impact over millions of people who die. And it's like, can you just, the level up means you being there for you, be there for you, take care of yourself, healthcare, your self-care, your mental healthcare, your habits daily, what you eat and put in your body. Because what's interesting, like depending on your emotional state, you want different, your appetite changes. Yeah, we talked about this in the group a couple of weeks ago, right? Your appetite will change depending on your state of consciousness, like where you're operating from. And we know this because, again, I can put my hand up, I'm an emotional eater. Yeah. I can easily eat my emotions, yeah, if I'm stressed out, easily. So I have to be aware of that. So what do you want? Why do you want it? Who will you become? And your self-image, really important. We're going to go into this in a couple moments into the meditation. But your self-image, would your self-image change? Let's say whatever you wrote down is done. Okay, it's done, it's created, you're in the end result. Would your image of yourself change? If so, what would the change be? And bringing that self-image, writing that down and reminding yourself every single day. I don't care if you have to write it, put it on a mirror, if you write it next to your laptop, if you put a little note in your wallet, so every time you see the note, it kind of acts like a trigger. Even if you have something that you say, I don't know, like something like I've got lots of crystals and things, but if you have like a pen in you know what, it's my lucky pen. Every time I think of this pen, every time I touch it, I'm going to remember that, the self-image that I'm working to embody. This is where a lot of like magicians and illusionists, some of them will have like lucky rings. I read this book, oh my goodness, I can't remember what it's called. But it was from a magician and illusionist that was around at the time of like Charlie Chaplin and stuff. And he was saying, he was talking about vibration and law of attraction, and he was saying that he has a lucky ring, and it's lucky because he said it's lucky, so he just puts energy onto it, like that intention, like my lucky ring, right? But he was like, just pick any item, doesn't have to be jewelry, but say that's going to be my lucky ring, because the mind doesn't know the difference if it is or not. But if every time you touch this you feel lucky, is this starting to make sense? Your emotions, how you feel about it. Yeah. So it's not so much what you want, not even what you have to do about it. How do you feel? And depending on, like, for example, depending on what your goals are, we were talking about this last week, does the belief come before the action? Sometimes, but sometimes the action comes before the belief. Like, I don't know if I can show you. Let me see. If I can show you my belts. Yeah, okay. My martial arts belts. I didn't believe I can do all of that, get my medals. I didn't believe that. I had to do it, right? I just trusted the process. I trusted my instructor. I trusted that he's not lying to me. Surely these children, these adults, he's taken them all through it. I'm sure he can take me through too. I don't believe I can do it, but I'm just going to trust the process. And again, what he always says, my instructor, is it's always like, relax. Oh, okay, I didn't realize, I do this, but then I go into territory. I don't know. I'm a student and I love that. I don't know. So it's like, he's like, relax. Oh, breathe. Oh, I didn't realize I'd stop breathing, right? Like, breathe, yeah. In order to fight well, you have to relax. Oh my God, how can I relax when I'm fighting? It's counterintuitive, but it works, yeah. So now I've got the belts. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. I've got testing next week and I'm like, oh my God, can I do it? Beliefs still come in. It doesn't matter. I'm just showing up to class and I'm doing it. And so far, I'm memorized my form. So, I'm good with the form, but it's okay. Like, we don't go by whether we believe it or not, but it's important that if you have beliefs from the get-go, yeah, and it's not something that's practical like that, where you're like, no, just go to the class. If you don't believe, you can go to the gym. Just go check out a gym, see how you feel about it. Check out a few gyms, see how you feel about the gyms, yeah. And just go, and that's the next step. And then when you're in that end goal, the end result of that step, then you take the next step, and the actions will cultivate your beliefs, yeah. But in a lot of cases with some other things, it is our self-image, it is our belief system. And so we're going to go into the meditation, the new moon meditation. Oh, that's what I was doing, wasn't I? And this, by the way, right, quick story before we do that. This green screen, my goodness, I was up last night moving around, like some way, somehow, to make it just cover the whole behind me. And it's just, nothing was really felt right. And, it was like falling on the chair and stuff. And I left this here to share with you guys. I even got the hammer and nails to force it into place, right? I don't care if it puts holes in my wall, I'm going to force it to go where I want it to go. And then the craziest thing, it just hooked into the belts of my martial arts belts, just hooked in. I'm like, hold on, how is it just holding? Like, what? Just hooked in. Easy. So easy. I was going to force it. It has to. It's like, relax, If I just maybe relaxed, chilled about it before, I would have seen the solution that's already there. Yeah. Okay. So get yourselves into a comfortable position. I'm just going to go to change the screen. Bear with me one moment, you guys. Well, this is it's not really working. Okay. You know what? We're just going to go with this. This is going to represent the moon. Okay. Okay. So get yourselves into a comfortable position. Yeah, I'm gonna do the sound activation. That didn't feel quite right. Okay. Okay, one last time. Okay. Okay, bring your awareness to your breathing. Gently close your eyes. Roll your shoulders back 3 times. Each time you do it, just connecting with the body. And imagine yourself walking along a beach. It's a private beach. In fact, this is your own safe space. The only people allowed here physically, mentally, energetically are those that you allow in. So this is a beautiful beach, and just imagine it's just the perfect temperature. The sun is setting and the sky is mixed with beautiful, beautiful colors. The pinks and oranges and blues, and it's just absolutely the perfect temperature for you. The air feels good, feeling the ground under your feet as you're walking on this beach. So really imagining your bare feet walking across the shore, hearing the sound of the water, of the waves, smelling the salt of the sea. Really use your senses. Imagine yourself, really see yourself in your mind's eye, walking down the beach, and it's just your beach, it's just you. And really, with each step you take, you're just becoming more and more present and embodied. With each step that you take, you become more and more grounded, connected to the earth underneath you, that's supporting you. You get connected to the water, the waves. You can feel almost like it's washing away like any emotions, impurities that you have. It's just taking it away with ease. You just give it, even just with intention, just letting go and giving it to the ocean to take and to transform the negative into positive. Yeah. Feeling the air on your skin and feeling the warmth of the fire of the sun. So just being in with all these different elements, the earth underneath your feet to ground you, the water is so powerful, so cleansing, the air, without it we have no life, the fire, the sun, the planet has no life, right? We need all these elements. We need all of these things. Just like all of our emotions guide us, they let us know what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we believe, what we want, what we don't want, what we desire, what we never want to experience again. We get to have that sovereignty in our own lives. So just imagine yourself, keep walking and walking and walking. And far up ahead, you can see on the shore, sitting down on the ground, is a little baby. And as you become closer to this baby, you see that it's you in your pure consciousness form. You as a baby. If you've ever seen a picture of yourself as a child, this is the perfect time you can bring those images from your memory. If you haven't ever seen a picture of yourself as a child, you can just imagine any baby and imagine it's you. So as you approach this child, recognizing that it's you, just want to just sit down next to the baby. The baby is present, it's happy, it's just in tune. It is part of nature, and it's very much feeling just very present in this beautiful space that you have. And as you sit down next to the baby, just imagine the different versions of you that got you from that baby version fresh onto the planet, fresh consciousness, that version into the adult version of you, who you are now. And just have a think about each decade, each phase, each season of your life, everything you've been through, all the different versions of you that have got you here. And really being okay with each version. And a really great way to do that is just to reach out to the baby and give the baby a hug. Just as you embrace the baby, you and the baby merge into your wholeness, the oneness, your pure consciousness, and you become a bright ball of golden light, shining so bright, such a high frequency. And with this light, you are vibrating at such a high frequency, and you're vibrating with the oneness of the universe, the oneness of every consciousness on the planet, every plant, every animal, every human. And just imagining the ball of golden light, it is elevating up into the sky. It's going up further, further up into the sky, reaching and passing the clouds, and it's moving towards the moon. And as you get closer and closer and closer to the moon, you can see that there's a sliver of it where the sun is shining on. And you realize, oh, that's the sliver. That's what the new moon looks like from planet Earth, from down there. And you decide to land there on that illuminated bit. And as you land there, the bright golden white light, you embody every version of you you've ever been and every version of you that you will become. And your pure consciousness represented by this light. And you're on this illuminated crescent of the moon, while you can see something that they can't see from planet Earth. You can see the dark moon. You can see the wholeness of it. You can see what is not visible from planet Earth. And with that realization of sometimes the things we see on the surface is a very small aspect of what is beneath, what lies beneath. And just like the sliver, the new moon that can be seen from the Earth, the whole moon is going to come to light in just a couple of weeks. And just realizing it's not even the whole moon, it's just half of the moon. It's always the same face of the moon. There's the other half is always as the dark moon. And just the beauty of how we don't have to understand it. We don't understand why the Earth just has this one moon. Some planets have multiple moons. We have this one beautiful moon that is so important to the water on the planet. That's so important to the tidal waves, just as important as the sun and life growing on planet Earth. And just feeling the oneness that you're connected to everything, every thought that's ever been thought, all consciousness, all oneness, the creator, God, universe, source, whatever word you want to use, whatever word feels in alignment with you. You want to imagine this ball of light really focusing on where you are on the planet, what country you're in. So really having a look at planet Earth, scanning planet Earth. And as the ball of golden light, you are traveling back towards planet Earth, back down through the clouds, back down closer to the land, and finding whichever continent you're on, what country you are in, what building you're in, and coming down, down, down until you find yourself, you're coming through the crown of your head and into your body. You drop down into your body, the pure consciousness that is and always will be, even after the physical body is gone. And just really appreciating the physical body you're in right now, really appreciating this physical vessel, whatever age it is, whatever it's been through, it's here for you. This physical vessel, this time-space reality, the beauty of being a human on planet Earth at this time. All the yin and the yang, all of it you get to experience, and really bring it into your mind's eye with the full, like the power of consciousness, the power of creation, the power of just your experience with the moon, with and set an intention, bringing forth to your mind's eye now your intentions. What is your desire? What is it that you want? What is it you want to activate? What was the goal? It might be a different goal to the one that you actually tuned into the session with. It might be the same, it might be different. Trusting it, connected to your heart, connected to your soul, who you really are, what you want, and it's done. It's already done. How do you feel knowing it is done? It is yours. What is the attitude and the beliefs that come accompanied with this? What is going to make sense for you to embody from this moment forward? The ideas, the beliefs, the self-image of you, your capabilities, your blessings, your connection, your potential. Remember why you want this. Why do you want it? And if you are to fully embody the consciousness like it's already done, what would you be doing? What does your day-to-day look like? What do your habits look like? What do your emotions look like? What is the lifestyle? It's already done. Embody it, become it, and you will create it. It is yours. And have a think about, by you, just by you, having the audacity to believe in yourself, having the audacity to really trust the process of conscious creation. Think about the people you will impact. Well, think about how positively you will set an example without speaking, without any of it, just by your pure beingness, just your beingness, you living your best life, consciously creating your life, the positive impact you'll have on those around you. It's yours. It's done. It belongs to you, and what you want wants you just as badly. So with that awareness, staying true to you, to keep this awareness, like tap into this consciousness as frequently as you can remember to do so, with this full activation and embodiment. Bringing your awareness to your breathing. And roll your shoulders back, each time just connecting with your breath. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Any things that are coming to you, write them down. Any ideas, thoughts, any things that are coming to you, make sure you write them down, because we're human. We will forget. And before I come to do the Q&A with you guys, for those of you watching the recording here and you would like to join us like this on a weekly basis with the group, I'm going to put a link in the description box where you can join us. You can join the group, which is currently called Aligned Mastery Group Coaching. And I invite you, if it resonates for you and it feels right, then it is right. If it doesn't feel right for you, it's not right for you. You can find lots of other resources. But let me know if you watch this as a replay. Let me know, comment. It would really help to get this word out there. It would help more people to find it. The more people comment and like and share this. If you have any questions, feel free again to reach out. For those of you that align with it and will be joining, I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Take care of yourself, you guys. I will be posting up. We'll be doing a full moon. We'll be doing a full moon, just to touch base with this. But yeah, you can really do this anytime, but new moons are great. And yeah, it's a great time to focus. Between now and the full moon, you have 2 weeks. So yeah, go consciously create and enjoy the process as you're doing it, most importantly. I love you guys so much. I'm going to stop the recording now, and let me see.